Connected learning is a type of learning that is socially connected, interest-driven, and oriented towards academic opportunities. As Bob was thinking about the foundations of connected learning, he remembered that it consisted of 3 learning principles and 3 design principles. The 3 learning principles are that it supports peer culture, is interest-driven, and is academically enriched. The design principles are that connected learning is openly networked. It connects people with a shared purpose and is production-centered. Bob took a closer look at the learning principles. The first learning principle was that it supported peer culture. He thought about how today's culture is rich in peer interactivity. He could see how connected learning builds on the societal need to collaborate, contribute, exchange, and network with others. Then, Bob looked at the second learning principle. He understood that a person's interests makes a difference in how he or she learns. He remembered reading that research has proven that learners learn best when they are invested in their learning. This interest engages the learner in a higher order thinking and produces expertise in their learning. Bob looked at the final learning principle and analyzed it. He knew that an academically enriched environment would be essential for a great education. Academics flourish when connected learning utilizes the peer culture and interest of the learners. Bob repeated the learning principles of connected learning to himself, supported by peer culture, interest-driven, academically enriched. Now that he got that down, he looked over to study the design principles. The design principles that connected learning is openly networked, has a shared purpose, and is production-centered. He took a closer look at the first design principle, openly networked. He thought about how important it was for learners to be linked to every part of their environment. Connected learning links an individual's learning with their school, home, and environment. He then glanced at the second design principle, shared purpose. He visualized how connected learning permits people with common goals and aspirations to collaborate together in a meaningful way that allows for cross-generational learning. He was fascinated by the last design principle, production-centered. He loved that through connected learning, our global community can actively produce, create, experiment, and design together. This, he thought, would allow for meaningful contributions in a rapidly changing society. Now to solidify his understanding, he took a look at his notes. Yes, connected learning has 3 learning principles and 3 design principles. The 3 learning principles are that it supports peer culture, is interest-driven, and is academically enriched. The 3 design principles that it is openly networked, gives people a shared purpose, and is production-centered. This is connected learning.